Right. All right. So now we're live on Facebook and we're live also on YouTube. So guys, bear with me. I'm doing this thing. I'm on Zoom with you guys. I'm on this side with the Facebook. I'm trying to do it big. This is my first time doing it on both sides. So if y'all see me looking around, I'm just getting myself together here. So I just want to start and say it's about 6 minutes in. Everybody's I don't want to keep you guys waiting because this information that I'm about to give y'all, it was good to me. I tested it. So what I'm going to be telling you is what you're going to need to know in order to go to the next level in getting funding for your business. Now, I'm going to ask a few questions out here. So, if you apply for funding in the last year outside of the PPP or the EIDL, say yes. Say yes or no in the chat just to let me know so I can kind of see who I'm working with. If you have, just say yes, yes. If you have not, say no. For those who have applied, if you were I want to know, you don't have to answer this question. I just kind of want to know who applied and who was not. I've applied and I was denied, and so I'm gonna tell you guys that I applied and I was denied, and I know why. And so now that I know why, I can fix it, and that's the best part about this business checkup. So I'm gonna ask you guys, so everybody knows we go to the doctor annually, right? We go get our bodies checked up. We make sure that we're in good health. That is what we need to be doing for our businesses. Our businesses need a checkup as well. So the last time I did a business checkup on myself was actually a little over a month ago. And what that is a business checkup is, do you know where you are financially? Do you know how much money you bring in on a monthly basis? That we're talking if you have one business, multiple businesses. Do you know how much money you bring in on a monthly basis? And I mean to the penny. So let's just say with my trucking company, I know about how much money we bring in on the trucking side because I pay attention to it a lot because I run the payroll and I also pay a lot of the bills. So on that side, I'm kind of well versed on what we spend, what comes in, what goes out. Now on my financial service side, it is kind of automated, as I say, and so I don't really know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know, but I don't keep up with it as I should. And I'm going to be getting on. I'm going to be stepping on a lot of toes here. So I have to put my stuff out there first. I haven't been doing everything that I was supposed to be doing in business as well. So whenever I step on your toes or whenever I say something and it bothers you or and it's hitting you, just put an ouch in the comments so I'll know that I'm on your lane. I'm on your roll. I'm on your pew. I'm coming down your pew to step on your toe. I want you to just say ouch. So now what I'm going to do now is now that we're on here and everything, I just want to introduce myself for those who know me and for those who don't know me. I am Denise Givan and I am the expert business coach. That's right. I said it, guys. I'm the expert in this. What I mean by expert is I I take the time to find out all the answers to questions that people don't like to talk about, like finances. People don't like to know because I asked a question when you registered. I said, "How are you structured?" A lot of people struggle with answering that question on the registration, and it wasn't a trick question. The reason I asked that question is because we all need to know. If someone ever asks that question, "How are you structured?" You need to know. So I am the business expert coach, and I'm going to be the one to help you get in the business game and kill it in the business game. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. A lot of you on here know me, know of me. And I'm going to tell you guys some of the new things that I've done since the last time some of us have talked. Well, I am an international best-selling author now. Woo, I'm so excited about that. And I also we've expanded. I call it our empire here over here. We know, for those who don't know, we're building a nation over here. We building the nation. We started out, when I say we, I'm speaking of my husband and I. We started out with just having a financial service business. Then I branched out and I started doing the coaching. but I wasn't really saying I was coaching. I was just taking phone calls and giving away a lot of free information. People say, hey, can I pick your brain for a minute? I say, yeah, what you got? What you got? So I was actually coaching, but I didn't have the title. So that's actually my second my second business. Then I moved on to the trucking. Now, the trucking has been something totally new for us. We started it back in 2018, and it's really doing well now. We started off I just dived in and just started buying stuff and doing stuff. And that's not the right way to do it. But you know what? I've learned so much by doing that. And with the trucking industry, it is booming right now. It's slow. What I mean by booming is if you're in the industry, I'm going to show you how to make money. But if you're tapping into it, I'm still going to show you how to make money. But you got to know the ins and outs of every industry. There's going to be some ups and downs. So the trucking is running a little slow right now. So that's the reason why I have multiple businesses. So then now, for those who know me and know my kids, I make them have a business as well. So I started the rule in my house is you must have a way to earn money before you graduate high school. So technically, when they were minors, those were still my businesses. Now I'm going to name them. I'm trying to name this out of the top of my head. Now, Teron, he's running Shirties, which is his shirt business where he makes T-shirts and all types of banners. And he actually did the signage for our trucks. So he's into that printing stuff with the shirts and the hats and the cups. And I do have a few of his little items back here that I'm going to show you guys here. So that was considered one of my early business, even though I didn't have to run it or anything. But now he's 21, it's his. He's taking it on. He's doing everything he needs to do with it. Then we have our sports. We have all our sports businesses. And when I say we're building a nation, my husband is he's an advocate for, he loves mentoring young men, young boys, teaching them the art of basketball, football, and just we started Swiss Nation. Swiss Nation is our basketball AAU team, and we have several groups, and so that's one of the things that Jeff is really, really passionate about. And of course, you know, Coach D, I'm right out there on the court with him. I'm right out there with him, training and everything. I love the aspect of us being able to work together. So that's one of the things that we do together is we have our sports. My son Teron, who is, in my opinion, the #1 track star in Texas, which he went off to college with a full ride scholarship. He was at Barton County. He just left Barton County. He's going to be, for the fall, hopefully, I'm getting him in. He's going to be at UT in Austin. He's going to be running track there on a full ride as well. And so with him, he always had people asking him, how can I start running fast like you? How can I run fast? And I told him, son, everybody's coming to you. You need to learn how to make this profitable. You need to learn how to earn money. So what I did was I taught him how to sell his training when he was in the 10th grade. So I said, all you do is whatever your workout regimen is, that's what you sell. And I showed him how to package it and put it together. So that was one of our businesses. And now we have Speed Nation, which is our AAU track club. So now Tara, my daughter, my youngest, she played a little basketball. She played a little volleyball. She ran a little track. So when she started volleyball, I wanted her to get in there because she was long and tall, and I wanted her to get in there and learn. So I created another Spike Nation. So we have Spike Nation as one of our volleyball clubs. Not all that active right now because you know how kids are. For those who have kids, she broke my heart. She said, I don't want to do volleyball no more, and I don't want to create the business or whatever. But that is what I mean when I say we're creating a nation over here. So I teach all of my kids that they must have a business. Now, my oldest two, they're killing the game. My oldest daughter, Conchetta, she has her hair care line, and she also had, she does hair, and she has her little suite. She does a lot in the beauty industry. And then I have my son, my bonus son, Jaylon, who is the dancer. He's killing the game out there as well. He has his Giving You Dance Studio. I guess I'm saying it right. I know he's going to correct me when he hear this, but he's an instructor, dance instructor. So all of my kids, I teach them the art of earning money. So without earning money, schools, they don't teach it. They don't teach them how to earn money, but they do teach them how to get to college and how to pass tests and things of that nature. For me, I tell my kids, I would love for you to go to college, but if you do not want to, I would rather you learn how to make money and earn a living, an honest living where you can take care of your family and set your own salary, set your own day-to-day, however much you want to make. So that is the kind of coach I am. So, if I can do it in my home, I can do it here with you guys. So what I want to do is I want to just tell you a little bit about why I wanted to do a 2-day workshop. The reason I wanted to do this 2-day workshop is because I asked a few questions to a few of my clients as they were coming in for appointments. So I said, so how is the health of your business? And I heard crickets. They were like, huh? What? I said, I'm going to ask you again, how is the health of your business? So if someone asks that question and say, how is the health of your business? Would you be able to answer that question without saying, oh, hold on, let me pull up my software, or let me see, hold on, let me call my accountant, which I am for a lot of people that's probably on this call. I'm probably your accountant, and I do know the strength of some of you guys' business, but it's not good for only me to know. You need to know as well. So if I ask you guys right now, what is the strength or the health of your business? How many people could honestly say, I know? If you say, oh, I know my stuff, put it in the comments, say, hey, yeah, I got my stuff together. And if you don't, it's okay. Because like I told you guys, I'm not here to pick on you. I'm here to help. I'm ready to all of us are going to the next level together. Because I'm going to have to go ahead and tell a little bit about myself. When I did my business checkup, I had a lot of things that wasn't in order. And I was ashamed because I'm like, I'm up here teaching all these people about how to get this money, how to get this, how to get that. And when I tested my businesses, now I'm going to be honest with you. I had one that none of them were perfect. And I'm keeping it real. None of them were perfect. And when I say that, what I mean is when I do my due diligence and go and check off everything, one of the businesses that was, I'll say 95%, it was 95% there. But it's easier to get when you know where you are, it's easier to get to that 100%. So I'm going to ask all these are the questions starting out for my, this is what I want to know with my business checkup. And you're evaluating yourself. You're going to do your own report card tonight. So ask yourself, okay, so how many people, so when you first started your business, I don't care if you've been in business for 10 years or 10 days, or if you're thinking about getting into business and you just don't even know where to start. These are some questions I want you to ask yourself. So my old heads, I don't want to call y'all old, but you know what I mean. Who's been in business the longest? Do you remember when you first started your business, what address you started your business at? That's a question I'm asking. So if you have an LLC, if you have a corporation, which is a C Corp or S Corp, if you are a sole proprietor, think, do you know the address of where you first registered? The reason I asked that question was because it was my home address. And since I started my very first, I'm talking about my very first business. When I went out on the Secretary of State site, that same address that I registered my business with back in 2002, it still had that address that I lived at when I registered that business. Shame on me. I done moved so many times and I did not update my address. How many of us, okay, so am I the only one that did that? Let me know. I don't see no ouches. I don't see no ouches out here. So I guess I'm the only one did that. Well, I'm gonna tap myself because that was one of the things that I did not. I do this all the time. You know, I do this all the time. I should have known better. But since then, I have updated it. So now I'm challenging you guys. Everything that I'm telling you, this has to do with funding. So I want y'all to know what I'm talking about. It has to do with funding. And that was one of the reasons I found out that I was denied. Because on other things that I had, like my business bank account, let's talk about that. How many of you have a business bank account that says ABC Trucking LLC, and that's the name of your business? That is what your business bank account say. Now, for me, I'm going to just, everything I'm talking about, I'm telling you all of my ouches. So with my business bank account, my address on my Secretary of State was different from the way I registered at when I went and got my business account. It was also different when I got my EIN. My EIN had a difference. So I'm at three addresses right now. I'm speaking of my very first business now. And this was back in 2002. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't know any better, but I really didn't. But that's no excuse because I've still been in business for over 20 years now. And that business should have been updated when I moved to wherever I moved. I don't care if I moved 50 times. You need to update it 50 times. With me, it still had my first home address. And I hadn't lived at that address in like 20 years, you know. So that was so remember this. These are some checkups that we're doing right now. Making sure that our home that if we have a business, that the address that we do business at is a business address. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, I started my business out of my home. I did as well when I was a sole proprietor. Now, everything that I'm going to be teaching you guys today is sole proprietorship. If you are a sole proprietor, you need to incorporate your business. That's step number one. If you are a sole proprietor and you didn't know that you should be an LLC corporation, which is a C Corp or S Corp nonprofit organization, you need to be you need to be incorporated in order to be eligible for funds. Now, I know a lot of people said, no, I got the PPP and I'm just a sole proprietor. You did, because it was open for people who were if you were just a self-employed person, which means an entrepreneur who is, or a sole proprietor who is just only work for themselves and it's just you're self-employed, you were eligible to get the PPP loan. But the funding I'm talking about, if you are a sole proprietor, this funding that I'm talking about, I'm telling you right off, you will not qualify. So that's one thing. So put this on your list. I must incorporate if I am a sole proprietor. I want you to put that down. I must incorporate. So now let's move on to, I talked about the address, and I talked about the bank account. The bank account must be in your business name. You must have a business bank account. Now, for those who use your personal bank account for business, go ahead and hit yourself on the hand and say, ouch, if you're doing that. That's a no-no. The reason why it's a no-no is because, let me tell you why they ask, when you go to apply for funding and it's not with the bank that you do business with, it's at another facility, financial institution, and they say, can I see the last 3 months of your bank statements? How many people know why they're asking that question? Just raise your hand. If you know, just raise your hand. The reason they're asking this, they want to see how you are using your funds. They look at it, and if they see that you're going to, I'm not saying that you can't shop at Walmart and go buy breakfast at at different places or go to Starbucks. I'm not saying that you can't do that with a business account. But If you at Specs, and if you at places like, things that's not business related, you at the club and you buying at the strip club and you going, no, they ain't gonna tell you because you went to the strip club, because you went here, that's why you're not being fun. They're not gonna tell you, but I'm telling you, that's why you didn't get the money, because your funds, your business transactions were personal, and they can tell when it's personal. They can tell. So that's the reason why. So we're doing a checkup here now. We're doing a business checkup. So I've already talked about how you're structured. So you need to be an LLC, which you could be taxed as an S Corp or a C Corp. You need to be incorporated, whether you're a nonprofit or for-profit business. And then some more structures, but those are the main ones. We'll get into some others if you are like an LLP and all of that. All of those, you need to be incorporated in order to tap into the funding that's out there. So now let's go to a website. Let's go to a professional website. Now, when I say professional, I don't mean that you go out and spend tons and tons of money to go get somebody to do a website, because I'm a believer in saving as much money and as possible. So if you have a decent, when I say decent, professional website, you can get it on Wix, you can get it on GoDaddy. You don't have to go spend a lot of money. You just want people to know that you have an office address. Now, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to get back on the address. That you have an office address and that you have office hours. And they should be listed on your website, or you should be able to be Google. If you need to be on Google. Well, when people Google you, they can see your office hours. They can see that you are a legitimate business. So that's one of the things I would want you to do. One thing I want you guys to do is make sure that if you're operating in business, I want you to be structured properly. It's never too late to go get a corporation. So for those who are doing business as a sole proprietor, I will be able to tell you, if you want to still use the same name, it might not be available, because when you do when you get your DBA, that's county level. And when you do your corporation, that's state level. So that's two different localities, which means the name you're using locally might not be available if statewide. So we can find out if we can incorporate your sole proprietorship. Secondly, or thirdly, or fourthly, I don't know what number we're on. We're talking about websites. You must have a professionally done website. And what I mean by that is people need to know how to contact you. They need to know that, and they need to know how to contact you if they want to do business with you. Now let's talk about your phone numbers. You should have a business line. And what I mean by a business line is you need to be registered with 411. This is what businesses do. I'm telling you guys what we need to do. This is what we're doing. We're checking up our business right now. And if we don't have these things in order, it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get there. But you must have a phone number that's registered with where you can, a 411 number. So, but let me tell you, that's one of the things I do know, that you will not be turned down for funding if you do not have a landline. But let me tell you, for those because I have a cell phone number that's dedicated just for business, because I don't want to, I do carry it around with me, and I use it exclusively for business. Now, but the kicker to that is, if you're going to use a cell phone, it can't be your personal cell phone. Well, I'm not going to say it can't be. Your voicemail must be a professional voicemail. Let's say that. If a bank calls you, because that's the number that you have listed, and they be like, hey, they on the voicemail be like, hey, what's up? This your girl Denise. I ain't here right now, and you go ahead and hit me up. What y'all trying to do tonight? If y'all want to get into some, text me. No, that's a no. You need to have a professional voicemail on your phone. It don't need to have all the your personal stuff on there is unless it should say, hello, thanks for calling Coach Me to Life. Our office hours are 9 a.m. to 5 a.m., Monday through Friday. Our email is da 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 da. Sorry, no one can take your call at the moment, but if you would leave a detailed message, someone will return your call shortly. This is just me telling you not kind of what to say, but you must let them know the name of the business. You need to let them know how they can contact you outside of the phone. If they leave a message, let them know that you will or someone will contact them back shortly, immediately, and then to go ahead and leave a message. It needs to be professional with your business name and office hours. So I'm going to recap that. I know I said it's best to have a landline. It is best to have a landline. But if you do not and you use your cell phone, make sure you have a professional voicemail on it. That's just the standard rule across the board. So now I'm gonna make sure I'm not leaving out anything. So we talked about the address, and I know I didn't mention that it is best to have a business address. A lot of people have virtual addresses, meaning that you need a physical address, not a P.O. box. Uh-oh. Did I step on some toes? You cannot, no, I'm not going to say you can't have a P.O. box for your business. You can have that as a mailing address. For those who, like if you don't want, like I don't really like my mail coming to my office. I prefer it going to my mailbox because because sometimes when it comes here, they put the mail in the wrong box, even though they can do that at my mailbox as well. But I haven't really had that problem at my mailbox out my mailing. It's not a P.O. box. It's one of my mail centers that I use for my mailing address. I haven't had any problems with mail, and I've had that account for quite some time. You should not have a P.O. box as your business address. Now, if you have one, like I said, it's okay to have one. But if you're doing business, everything should be the same. Your Secretary of State should have the same business address that you do business at. If it's your home, that's fine. Make sure it's the same. Your business bank account should be registered at your home address if you're doing business at home, or your office address or your virtual address. Your phone number must be a landline, or if you're using a cell phone, make sure it has a professional voicemail. So now, all these things can prevent you from getting funding on the higher level. So if you've been turned down in the last couple of weeks, days, months, years, and you don't have these items checked off, that could be why. I know that was why I was turned down. And I know a lot of people say, yeah, you got to have good credit to get this, and this. I found out that they don't really care about your credit. If you can show them you are a business person and you know how to run a business. Now, they might not give you a big amount of money at one time, but banks and financial institutions will give you what they call a line of credit or a small business loan or a small personal loan. But if you're using, one thing I don't want to talk about is credit, because I'm gonna tell you why. Credit is not the reason why we are getting turned down. And for years, I thought that's why I was getting turned down, because I was always challenged in credit. I would, not that it was so bad or horrible, I just always would charge up my credit cards, and that would drop my my score. And when I would go to try to get funds and it was low, I said, oh, it was my credit again. Come to find out, they don't even really care about my personal. Well, I'm not gonna say they don't care now. It wasn't the reason why I was turned down. Let's say that. So credit is good. Everybody should have good credit. So if you don't have good credit, I'm gonna say ouch, and let me say ouch. My credit is not good. I'm working on it, and I'm going to continue to keep it good once I get it there. So I want all of us to stay on that same wavelength. We gotta make sure we can get this money. So even though it's not predicated on credit, you can get a loan with business credit. Let's say you don't have business credit, but you have all your ducks in a row, all your checkups. You done had your checkup and you got things in order. You can get some funding. Some funding. Now the amount, I don't know. I don't know the amount, and we're talking lines of credit and small amounts. You can get some funding that way, but it's best don't ever let them. So if they say, well, you haven't been in business long enough, okay, that's fine. Then that's when you turn to your credit and say, well, I know I haven't been in business long enough, but I am credit worthy on my personal side, and I would like to be a personal guarantor to get this loan. What they gonna say? They gonna say, okay, Miss Givan, come on in and sign the papers. I might not get the amount that I'm going in for in the beginning, but I will be able to get some type of funding to help me in business. So I don't know if you guys knew this information, but if you don't have all of these checks that I just gave you, that could be why you have not been funded. It's one more, your email. Denise, I have one, bradfordtaxservice@gmail.com. I use that because that's the one that I use for like pretty much all my clients. But when I'm going to get a loan, I do not use that. I use my Coach Me to Life business that has the same address that it was registered at. Has my website where you can go and see the same information that I put on my application, my phone number. And also I have a coach. Some of you probably got an email from me from Coach Life at coachmetolife.com. Everybody needs a .com email in order to be eligible for funding. I know a lot of us use Gmail. It's okay if you're using Gmail with your clients. It's okay if you're using it, because I know us as being business owners, we struggle. I know I do. I struggle with keeping stuff separated because I have my tax business over here, and then I have my financial business right here. Tax and financial is really not the same. I used to combine it. Now I can't. Then I have the trucking. Then I have the coaching. So I have all of this stuff going. I cannot send out a coaching, something pertaining to my coaching business. If somebody is looking to book a session with me, then they get an email from my Bradford Tax Service email. That's unprofessional. That's unprofessional. We're talking professionalism here. We want to be professional in business, and we want to be eligible for all the monies that's out here. We want to make sure that we're able to tap in to the funding that's out here. And these are little checkups that before I even talk about how much money is out there, we need to get this stuff in order before we can even talk about funding, meaning that I can go tell you what all the money is. And for those who saying, ouch, along with myself, we probably would not be eligible today. Y'all heard me say today, right? This business checkup is going to get us right. I'm telling you, if you just start with these items, what I just gave you, these are things you can do on your own starting tonight, starting immediately. And so I'm talking about going to the next level now. I'm not just talking about making a few $100 here. I'm moving us from thousandaire to millionaire. I'm going to tell y'all, I rested in the thousandaire. I've been resting in the thousandaire for a minute. And you know, you can still be a thousandaire and making 999,000, which is really good. I'm not down in that, but my point is we shouldn't put a limit. We should not put a limit on how much money we're able to get. Now, the reason I'm talking about this business checkup is because in order for us to move to the next level, we got to have our stuff in order. Our business affairs must be in order. So let's recap. I'm going to recap. The reason I'm keep recapping is because I really want you guys to get this. I really want you to make sure that your address and all of your addresses is the same. I want you to make sure that however you are registered at the Secretary of State, that is your actual place of business. It's easy to change. You can do an amendment and change your address. Also, if you're using your home address, I'm not going to tell you it's okay to use your home address, but make sure everything has the same address on it. I do recommend that you have a virtual address if you do not have an office space. I recommend a virtual address. Now, that is the one thing that won't stop you, long as it matches up with everything. Everything has to have the same address. But I do recommend that you have a virtual address. Your website, you please have a professionally done website. It doesn't have to be all pretty with a lot of bells and whistles. It could just have your business name, your ways of contacting you, what you do, and your office hours on there. Also, your email address. Please get a .com. Please get a .com. They're very inexpensive with GoDaddy. Very, very inexpensive. You can go get one. Start doing that. Start getting your everything in order. So now, let me say, we said address, phone, website, email. What I left off? Come on, somebody help me out. Type it in the comments if I left something out. Address, phone number, website, email address. Those are the things, and those are the things that you need to make sure that it's professionally done. Thank you. And your EIN paperwork. Your EIN paperwork must have the same address. So this is one of the recommendations. Well, for me, I had my EIN before I had everything else. I don't know why I did that. That was just, I don't know why. I just went out there and did it. I recommend people whenever I'm helping them on the coaching side and they're starting a business, I start off with telling them, okay, what address are you going to do business from? Then I go get the EIN. With your EIN, for those who it's now this is my experience. Somebody else might have another experience on how to get your EIN changed. I could not get mine changed. I don't know if I was impatient and didn't want to go through the proper channels and doing whatever, but I didn't know how to change mine. So if somebody knows how to do that, that will be some helpful information to put in this in the comments here in the chat on how to change it. So you just go change the address. Okay. So I don't know why it was so hard for me. I guess I'm just not as smart as some of you guys out there. But the address that I had on there was the one that I made like for my newer businesses. But that's the one I just made sure that all of my addresses match. And also your business bank account information needs to match your business address as well. So those are the things that we need to know before we even talk about funding. So let me talk a little bit about what I found out about this funding. So how many of my people out here are minority business owners? I'm thinking we all are minority business owners. I'm not sure, but for the most part, I think we all are minority business owners. All my minority business owners say yes. Hello, me. Let me know that you that you are a minority. Now, this is what I have come to learn. Y'all brace yourself. I kind of spilled the beans on one of my lives, but let me tell y'all what I found out. You know, all the money that was allocated for the PPP, EIDL, a lot of that money is still out there with the SBA, but a big portion of that money was put over in the minority business pot, as I want to say. So they put the money over there in the minority business pot. Why y'all think they did that? Come on, y'all. Y'all know why. Come on. They know I'm not going to say all minority businesses. It's some minority businesses out here that's killing the game. They are killing the game. But for some of us who did not do these little business checkups that I've been talking about, that's the main reason why, because they know we're not going to have everything in order. And I don't want to say that they really put thinking that we're going to fail. I don't really want to say that. I don't really want to believe that they put the money there because they felt like we weren't going to be able to get it. But my theory is they believe that we're not going to go get it. Are we going to be disciplined enough to get in order and stop playing around? Stop playing around and go, let's get this money. So let me just, okay, so I'm finna get a little serious with you guys now. I'm finna start really stepping on some toes. And I'm talking to people who do all these cuts and deductions on their business taxes. Whoops. I ain't mean to say that out loud. You ain't got to say ouch on that. You don't have to say ouch. Just nod your head and just nod your head or blink your eye. Blink your eyes. just wink your eye real quick. I don't want to put you on the spot. But for those who say, Denise, girl, I need to get my refund. Why? You got to take all these deductions out. All right, people. You know what I say. I'll do it. You're the client. But let's get serious. That is not good. For those, and so the ones I'm talking to are people who are sole proprietors or single member LLCs, and you put your business taxes on your personal. A lot of times, you ask for me to take all these deductions because you don't want to pay taxes. We got to get better. When I say we, I'm not saying, oh, y'all. I said we have to get better. Because I'm putting all my dirty laundry out there. I would never come in this workshop and act like I got all my stuff together. But what I do want to tell y'all is when I know better, I do better. When I learn something that has been hindering me from going to the next level, I do better. So I'm challenging you guys. If you know better, let's do better. So I'm going to say this. For those who are sole proprietors, we talked about this early on. Let's work on getting you incorporated, whether it's an LLC, incorporation, however you decide you want to do it. Then we're going to talk about how you can be taxed. So single member LLCs, we can get you taxed as an S Corp. Multi-member as well. We can get you taxed as a C Corp. What that basically is saying is that I am not putting my business income and deductions on my 1040 or on my personal business taxes. What I am doing is I'm putting it on the 1120 form, which would be 1120S, 1120. We're going to report our business as a business. We got to do this, guys. I know a lot of us for a long time. I'm going to be honest with you. In the last 3 years is when I did it. And I told y'all I've been in business since 20. I've been in business over 20 years. I was in that same boat. The reason why, I'm going to be honest with you, is because I had small kids. I would always pretty much get a refund. Not that refunds are bad. Refunds are good. If that's your money, I want you to get all the money you can get. If they owe you their money, get it. But be mindful of, we are business owners now. We're ready to go to millions. I know I am. I've been 1,000 now for a long time. I'm ready to tap over. I'm ready to be a millionaire. I am ready. I'm positioning myself. I'm walking the walk. I'm talking the talk. I'm getting myself in order. And that's what we all about to do. It would be a shame for all of us to be here in this workshop and not even take action. So the first day, I'm getting on y'all the first day, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up and show y'all, this is the money that we are leaving out here. Billions and trillions of dollars that's allocated for small business owners, minority business owners. We got two. I'm in there 2 times. I'm a small business and I'm a minority business owner. So it's extra funds out there for me. Just those 2 categories put me in. It put me in the game for sure. All I'm telling you is you're not going to get the money if you're not structured properly, if you're not doing your taxes the right way. And if you're hiding funds, a lot of people say, I don't want them to know I made this amount of money. Okay, I'm finna get real with y'all. I was the same way. I'm not just gonna be saying, stop that, don't do that. No, I'm not gonna do that. When I learned better, I started doing better. And let me tell you, I have a few clients for a long time on the tax side. The income the income of most of my clients was about $750,000 annually and under. The highest I could say was about 700, 800,000. That's about the highest that I can remember. And this just is off the top of my head. Y'all gonna make me go pull some files or something, but about 800, between 750,000 and 800,000. It was about the highest amount of money that my clients was bringing in on the business side. Not until I helped out a person, one of my clients, I helped them out with one of their business partners who I did not do their taxes. They were merging, they were coming together to be partners, and they were going to do something with a joint venture. So I had to look at both of their paperwork. The partner brought in for 3 consecutive years. One year he brought in $18.2 million. And I didn't want to act like, woo, I ain't act like I wasn't used to it. I was just like, I got to see what this person doing if they bringing in this kind of money. The second year, they brought in about 16 million. And then the third year was around 19 or 20 million. They stayed in that range. And I looked at their taxes on his business side. He got refunds. Now, the reason he got refunds is because he paid in too much when he was doing his, he had his payroll. He didn't know how much money he was going to owe. So to prevent him having to pay, he was paying a little in, a little in, a little in. That was the reasoning why he got a refund. He didn't owe taxes. When I say, and I'm gonna say that again, he didn't owe taxes, and he brought in about the last year about 19 point some, almost 20 million for that year. He did not have to pay taxes on his business. I know y'all saying, sure, yeah, right. No, I'm gonna be honest. I have never done anybody taxes that made 20 million. I didn't even do his taxes. I just had to review them to make, so I can show the strength of both of their businesses. And that's how I came to know this information. So my point is, we need to just up our income and don't worry about our deductions. We just need to worry about making as much money as we possibly can. Because that's my experience with just looking at his tax return, making that kind of money on his 1120. I was trying to act like I was used to seeing money like that on somebody's tax return. I was not used to that. What got me was he educated me on some things that he did and all of the breaks that he was getting that I would have never known to tell my clients or tell you guys, because I ain't gonna say, I don't know about all of y'all because I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I have not made $18 million. So I didn't know all the breaks that they get for making that type of money. So all I'm saying is, let's not concentrate so hard on trying to get some deductions and not having to pay so much in taxes, because when we get out of the bracket that we're in and go to the next bracket, we ain't really got to pay no taxes. And me being a tax professional, and I have some of my tax professional sisters on here. Shout out to Stephanie. Whoop, whoop. Shout out to Belinda. Whoop, whoop. See, and if it's some more people out here, these are the ones I know that's on right now. We're in the tax industry, so we know the breaks to give. We know how to help you get some deductions. But now what I want to show you, I'm not going to, so if any of my tax people are on here and you call and say, how can I get some deductions? I'm going to roll my eyes at you. I'm going to still do it, but I'm going to roll my eyes. I'm going to be like, now, wasn't you in my workshop saying that we not finna do that? But it's okay. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. But the point is, let's work on getting our money up. I want the money to be up so we won't have to worry about finding no deductions. They're going to come to us when we're in that bracket. So I'm gonna talk about lately I've been getting a lot of calls. When I say a lot, about 6 calls. That's a lot in in a couple of weeks, for companies wanting me to help them with the ERC. Do anybody know what the ERC is? The ERC is Employee Retention Credit. So let me tell you about that. So if I can help you get the Employee Retention Credit tomorrow, how many people think they will be eligible to get this credit? Just by the show of hands of saying, me, I probably could get it, or just say, I don't know. Or if you don't know, say no. I just want to see how many people, if you already know what it is, do you think you will be eligible for that credit being a business owner? A lot of people say they don't know. They don't know. It's okay. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you what it is. The ERC is the Employee Retention Credit. So in order to get it, you have to have, you got it, employees. How many of us as business owners got contractors and not employees? Because we don't want to pay them employer taxes. That's a no. You are robbing yourself from different types of funding. Now, what it did for me was I looked and I saw one of the clients who called me and said, hey, can you help me with this? And I was like, absolutely, I can get you the funds. You know, I can help you get the funds. I just looked at their paperwork. Based on the quarters, they sent me all 4 quarters of their payroll, their 941s, 940s. They sent me 940, 941s. They sent me all 4 quarters for 2021. And they had 8 employees, and they all were still employed with them for the entire year. And he and most of the employees, every quarter, he was almost eligible to get $28,000 per employee, and he had 8. So all my smart people out there who can add and do the calculator real quick, let me see, how much money is that? $28,000 per employee, and he had 8 full-time employees that was on his payroll, that he had a payroll for them. Woo! Look at that. Look at that amount of money. This was a credit, and this is free money. Free money. Why aren't we taking advantage of the free money? Is it because we don't know? Or is it because we're not doing our due diligence? Now, the business checkup stuff that I told y'all before about all of the all our logistics, our address, phone, website, email, all of that, those are things that we got to have in order to make sure we get funding. Now, I'm going to move over to some other things. If you have employees, when I mean by employees, I don't know, and I'm going to treat you guys like you're in kindergarten. I'm going to act like you don't know this. I'm just going to pretend like you don't know this. I'm going to tell you anyway. If you have people that work for you and they come into your office space, they use your computers, they use a laptop that you give them, a phone, tablet, those are your employees. They're not contractors. I don't care if they work at home. If you provide them with the tools to do the job that you have hired them to do, they are your employees. They are not contractors. I'm going to use myself as an example. Now, a lot of my truck drivers, they come to me and they say, can I be 1099? Can I be 1099? I say, absolutely. Yes, you can be a 1099 contractor, but you got to have your own truck. If you're going to be a driver and you're going to be in my truck, I'm providing you with the truck. I pay the fuel. I give you all the loads. I do pretty much everything for you. You are an employee of mine. You actually will get a paycheck. You will get a paycheck that says Freight Nation Logistics, and you will have taxes cut out of your paycheck. Okay, somebody asked a question, and the reason I said I was going to wait for questions, but this is a good one. It says, what about employees using your vehicle? Same scenario. If you hired them to do a job and you provide them with a vehicle, they are your employees. So let's say, I'm going to use myself as an example again. Say with us that they want to come and ride under my authority, under my trucking company. But they come when they have their own truck. They are a contractor with me. They are an owner operator who's operating his own truck. Even though I might give him loads, I might, he's going to pay for his own fuel. He's going to pay for his own maintenance on his vehicle. He's just don't have an authority to ride under where he could, so he needs an authority to ride up under to move freight. He's a contractor. So I will get a W-9 from him. Meaning that at the end of the year, he is a contractor and I will just report the amount of money that I paid him as a contractor. I don't cut out taxes for him or her. They are contractors. So you need to know the difference between contractors and employees as business owners. I'm talking about funding here, people. You want to get funding. The people that give you money, they're going to say, let me see your paperwork. They're going to see your financials. They're going to see how much money you allocate for payroll. They're going to see how much money you allocate for contract labor. That's going to determine how much money they give you. So let me explain. Okay, some of the industries out here, when we first got out here, a lot of people was telling me they're in transportation, financial services, there's some nonprofits, some real estate investments. Now, let me tell you the best businesses. It's no best. Let me use some more words. The industries that's the easiest to get funding. If you are a consultant, if you are a coach, if you are in the industry of consulting somebody or doing a tax person, it's a good industry. It's easy to get monies in that industry. Let me tell you why. Because of the liabilities. You're consulting. There's not a lot of risk in consulting. If I give you the wrong advice and you go out there and do something wrong, we can fix it. But if you a trucking company and you go out there and they give me money and get all these trucks and I hire some people and they drunk on the road, they can kill people. So that's the reason why each industry, you need to know like what industry you're in and how to make sure that you're the industry you're in. So let's just say you're in transportation. Like with me, I'm in transportation, meaning that I just started another business, which is the brokering for freight brokering. And I also have a dispatch company, but it's still in transportation. When I put transportation or logistics on my application, they're going to want to know. Now, I don't know the acronym. It's NACS. Well, hold on. Let me find it because I don't want to be lying to y'all. It's your code for your business. NAICS code. Thank you. NAICS code. How many of you know your code, or you can go put your hands on your code? How many people know theirs? Good. Yes. A lot of people, it's good to know this. The reason why, because like I just gave you an example of the trucking industry. So say if I go and apply for a loan for the trucking, but I just really wanted for the brokering side or the dispatch side, which is very little overhead. All I need to do is just have some money for maybe a line of credit so I can use it for whatever reason. I'm not buying computers. I'm not buying nothing, but I put transportation on there. They could assume that I am going to buy some trucks or some heavy equipment that could be more riskier than just having employees or contractors sitting at a desk with a headphone on making phone calls. You get what I'm saying? It's really no risk in that. So they will be more apt to give me money for a dispatch company or a brokerage company or a consulting firm. It's easier because I can prove to them that it's not a lot of liability. So and don't get me wrong. I want you to know your codes because you could be putting the wrong thing on there. But then you also, when you put, let's do transportation again. I use transportation because of all the insurance you have to have. And that's one of the industries it's not hard to get the funds, but you got to have lots of insurance when you're operating big machines and big semi trucks and having all these equipment and all of that. You need to have certain types of insurance. So the more insurance, the bigger the equipment, the more money you're going to pay, the less they want to fund you. So that's when you really have to have your ducks in a row when you're in an industry like that. You really must have everything in order. So I've told you guys a lot of information to make sure that your business checkup is done properly. I always say annually, but now because this funding is here and it's out there and I want everybody to get their fair share, we're going to start doing our quarterly business checkup. That's what I recommend. I recommend everybody get in position to get this funding. So let's talk a little bit about the funding. The funding, I have a slide that I want to show, but it's a lot of reading. And I'm not the kind of person who like to put up a lot of reading. I'm going to paraphrase. So everybody write this website down, sba.gov. This is where I'm getting this information. And I want you to go out and check, make sure that I'm giving you the right information. Another one is the minority business. Let me make sure I'm giving it to you right. Minority business owner. Hold on. Because I want to make sure that I'm giving you the right information so you can go out. It's the minority business enterprise. They have grants out there. I want y'all to read up on this stuff. Because what I'm about to tell y'all. Okay, so let me pull up. I'm going to read y'all a little bit of this little information that I got today that really blew my mind. I mean, I've been reading up on it since I went to that workshop that I went to, and they started telling me all this, and I was like, wait. They telling me some information that I don't really know a lot about. I'm not going to share my screen unless you guys really want me to, because it's a lot of reading, and you guys, I've given you the site, but I want to just tell y'all, it says that the SBA, they redid their budget for fiscal year of 2023. And for fiscal year 2023, there is $914 million in the new budget authority. And of this amount, $346 million is for salaries and expenses. And $318 million of the dollars is for entrepreneurial, big word, development programs. Okay, so how many entrepreneurs do we have out here? It says for development programs. So they have $318 million for entrepreneurial development programs. I'm going to explain that in a minute. It says also that the SBA also requested an authority to transfer $320 million from the targeted EIDL advance to support the COVID EIDL loan servicing and other COVID-related programs, which means it's given more than $4 million in loans that must be serviced up to 30 years. So those are the EIDL loans that has already been given, or like 4 million of that money. So now they got an extra $320 million. that they're going to allow us as small business owners to take advantage of. So on another, the same document, I'm going to read this little part. It says the small businesses are small businesses are vital to the U.S. economy. The federal government needs your partnership. Now, this is off of the SBA site. They said that the U.S. government needs our partnership. What does that mean? It says, as the largest purchaser of goods and services in the world, the U.S. federal government receives vital support from small, disadvantaged businesses, including those in the 8A Business Development Program. We're going to talk about that. Write this down. The number 8, in parentheses, the letter A. This is a business development program that the SBA has. And I'm going to show you how to qualify for this particular program. Now, what they're saying is this particular program, it has access to sole sources and competitive set-aside contracts. Okay, I don't want to be talking foreign to you guys, but what is a set-aside contract is? It's set aside for a specific group of people. Us. Denise, can you share your screen? Because I cannot find it on the website. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you. What I'll do is I have this, and everybody, I'll send it to you because I picked out bits and pieces of it. Hold on, let me tell you. It's 220 pages. So it's a PDF. What I'm going to do is I'm going to email it to everybody tonight so you can pick through this and look at it. And the parts that I'm picking through is just telling you who they want to partner with. And they want to partner with us, minority businesses, small businesses. They want to partner with us. So I'm like, oh my God, really? So these are some of the things that I did not know. I read all this. I'm going to share it here. Let me see how to do this. I'm not good at sharing things in the link. Everybody on here registered. So I do have your email. When we're done here tonight, I will send this to you guys. But I want you to remember, we are going to be tomorrow. We're going to dive in on how to get this money. I'm telling you how much is out there. I'm telling you the programs that's out there. Tomorrow, this is what we're going to do. Come ready to learn how you're going to get your share. Now, let me ask you this. So how many of you don't want your share? Y'all want to just give it to me? I know y'all saying like, no, I want mine. We have to get in position in order for us to even talk about how to get this money. A lot of us are sitting here saying, you know what? This is so simple. Why do I not have a website? And I've been in business for 20 years or however many years. It's okay. We already done slapped our wrist. We already did that. We're not going to worry about what I used to say, woulda, coulda, shouldas. We're not going to worry about that. What we're going to do is take action. We're going to get ready to take action. And when I say take action, action means you already got your first portion of your business checkup. If you are already got everything in order, those are the ones who I really want to guide along. I want to tell you kudos, give you the pat on the back, because a lot of people, when they know better, they do better. But when you don't know and you don't do, there's money out here that we are leaving out on the table for people. And then the crazy part about it is the minorities. When I say, I'm going to say a special class, our sisters, our Hispanic people, they are smart. My Hispanic clients, when I tell them this is what you need to do to get this funding, because they are minorities too. I have Asian clients. They are minorities too. And I have my, my Nigerian people, everybody that's coming from, they tell me that they laugh at us. I'm serious. They talk about Americans bad. They tell me, oh, y'all are lazy. All this money out here in y'all country, y'all don't even know how to get it. When they tell me that, I get offended. But I shouldn't. I shouldn't get offended. It's the truth. It is so much money out here for minorities. Only a few people know how to go get it. And what I'm telling you is this is the first step in getting it, is having your stuff, your business in order. So that's the number one thing I wanted to talk about tonight, was having your business affairs in order. So I'm jumping back and forth because I want to reiterate on some things that I didn't talk about. I mentioned to you guys about the payroll, and I mentioned to you guys about the contract, being a contractor versus an employee. What I didn't tell y'all is you must have some type of accounting software set up for your business. I always recommend QuickBooks, but there's others out there. The reason I recommend QuickBooks is because I've worked with it for so long, and I've had positions to where I was a bookkeeper and accountant, and I know the desktop version, I know the online version. For me, it's more user friendly, and I'm not endorsing them or anything. I need to be an affiliate with them because I'm really putting them out there. I really do recommend that you have some type of payroll or bookkeeping software that you use for your business. How do you, that's one of the ways you know the health of your business. If I was to say, okay, what's the health of your business? You could go to your QuickBooks and run a report and tell you, well, last quarter I brought in X amount of dollars and I spent out X amount of dollars. For me, let me tell you what I tell people. Just like I read my Bible and I do my studying and my meditation and my affirmations and read all my scriptures and stuff in the morning, right after I get through doing that, I should be looking at my financials. That's just how serious we all should be about our business. It should never be a time where we say, okay, I don't know how much money I brought in last month. Shame on you. Shame on you. And it could be the reason why you're not ready to go to the next level. In order to get to the next level, you got to know how much money you're bringing in. You got to know how much money. So now let's get ready to recap, and let's get ready and get positioned for tomorrow's, the last day of the workshop. So tomorrow, what we're going to be covering is where the funding is. I've given you two sources already. The SBA has tons and tons of money. And I'm going to share this 220 page, what is it called? It's called, it's their fiscal year budget authority. It's what it is, where they set and already got their money budgeted out and who they're giving it to and all this good information. Browse through it, because the stuff I'm telling you, I want you to know there's no way I'm going to be able to go over 220 pages. Let this be part of your reading when you get ready to read. So we talked about two sources. The first one is the SBA. SBA still have money for us, guys. It's still money out there. It's not going to be as easy as it was with the PPP and the EIDL, because they're going to really be checking stuff now. It's okay. No worries. We're going to have our stuff in order, and we ain't going to have to, y'all know what I'm talking about. We're going to get everything in order like it needs to be. And I can guarantee you that because when I say we, there's no way that there's $914 million out there and we're not going to get some of this money. I'm sorry. For those who want it, we're going to go get it. And we're going to get it together. That's the best part about it. And secondly, we talked about the minority business enterprise. They have grants out there. If you Google minority business enterprise, grants going to pop up, everything's going to pop up. But there's going to be, tomorrow, I'm going to show you what you need to do in order to tap into both of the sources. I'm just going to tell you this right now. In order to get money with the minority business enterprise, you got to have a certification. So I'm just going, and I know y'all say, oh, we got to do this. No, we're going to get certified. Everybody on this call, on this Zoom, on live, if you're a small business and you're ready to get this money, I'm going to challenge you I'm going to challenge you to get certified with the minority business. We're going to talk a little bit more about it tomorrow, and I'm going to show you how to get certified and why you should be certified and the benefits of why having a certification is important for us today. The money is sitting there because they know we were not going to get our stuff in order, but we're going to prove them wrong. What we're going to do is, as a collective, we're going to learn together. Once we learn what we need to do, I want everybody, our acronym for today and tomorrow is ACTION. That's action. A is for accountability. We're going to hold ourselves accountable. And if you have anybody, friends, I want y'all to share this information. We can't just keep this to ourselves. It's so much money to be made. I want everybody to have a fair share of it. I want everybody to get this money. So we're going to hold ourselves accountable. Now, the C is being coachable. Now, I know a lot of people, we said, ouch, we didn't have stuff in order. But we're going to get there. But you got to be able to be coached. Somebody has to coach you. And the T in action also is being trained. You got to be trained. Somebody has to train you if you don't know. I have to be trained. One thing about me that I've learned in the last couple of years is that by me being a business coach, I know a lot of information and I love sharing information. But now the level that I'm going to, I have to be coached as well. So I have my own business coach who coaches me. And I have my accountability partner who holds me accountable for the things I said I'm going to do. So so let's move on to the I in action, the initiative. We got to take the initiative. We can sit around all day and get all this information. We can tell a friend. We can invite people around. We can have our clients come in and we still doing business. But we got to take the initiative to do our due diligence on getting our business in order. Now, we all, and the O is ownership. Just because we are business owners, do we really own stuff? I want y'all to ask yourself that. Am I really in ownership? And I want us to move from leasing to owning. I want us to move from renting to owning. So we're talking about business and we're talking about our equipment. We're talking about our real estate stuff. A lot of people are in real estate. You're like, I want y'all to keep some of them houses and some of the land for generational wealth. And now we're at the end. The end is now. When are we going to take action? We need to take it now. So all the things that I gave you on the checkup list, we know what we need help in and what we need to do. Let's start working toward it. So a lot of people say, you know what, Denise, I don't really have the time or the money to go get a website and to do this. Make time. Make the money. You're business owners. You should be able to set your dollar amount per day. I get up, my intentions every night before I go to bed. I do an action list of 10. Sometimes I do 6 items. I'm trying to move up to 10. Last night I did 10 and it didn't work. I'm going to stick with my 6 items before I go to bed. What I do is I write down 6 things that I'm going to do the minute I hit the floor for my business. And the reason why I do that is because I don't know about you guys, but Facebook, emails, text messages that I miss, all of that, if I get up in the morning and pick my phone up and start looking at emails, Facebook, and messages, that could go well over into a couple of hours of my morning, which is not productive for me. So I want you guys to start doing these little tips to get yourselves in order. We're talking, we're about to be millionaires. If we are not, for those who are not already, we need to be ready to, we need to have a game plan. So we need to start taking baby steps. So we got our baby step items already on here. We know it. We know what we need to do on the business checkup side. If we don't have our stuff, let's start getting it. And once we get all of this stuff in order, we're going to be ready and opened up for funding. I'm going to tell you one more thing about that acronym ACTION. when I live by that every day. I hold myself accountable. And for those who I have accountability partners, and I'm accountability partners with other people, and I have people who hold me accountable. I'm serious about it when I say that. So if you want an accountability partner, I'm open to it. But you might not like me afterwards, because I'm not going to be nice. I'm not going to say, so I'm going to say, hey, it's some fun in out here. Let's go get it. I'm going to do mine, and I'm going to do yours. Let's do this together. And this is how I talk to my people. But if I look down and I look you up, and you send me an email. I said, send me an email of all your documents, and you send it from your Gmail account, and that's the only email you got, I ain't going to do business with. I'm going to just say, look, well, you're not in my 2-day workshop. Go get a .com email. Because we're going to, in order to, now, if you just like how you doing things, this might not be for you. I'm talking about people who ready to go to the next level, ready to get this money, and ready for me to hold you accountable, because I am good at holding people accountable. But what I do what I do also is I allow you to hold me accountable. I'm not going to be sitting here telling you, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what, things to do, and I'm not doing them. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get on fussing at y'all, because I'm going to end on time. We got 3 minutes. Let me see if I can take a few questions. I saw one just popped in, say, what about a .net? Yes, you can. You can have a .net, .me, .org, all of those. You can have those. It's easier to say .com. That's the most common one and the most popular one. But yes, you can have a .net. But you do not want to have at yahoo.com, at gmail.com, at hotmail.com. You do not want to do business with one of those extensions. Now you can't, and like I told you, I'm going to continue to use my Bradford tax service at gmail.com. That's how I communicate with people. But when I'm applying for loans, and when I'm getting ready to do things, and I'm keeping everything consistent, I'm going to use my Coach Life at coachmetolife.com, along with my website, which is coachmetolife.com. Go check me out, y'all. And I use it on my Instagram, my Facebook. I keep everything, in order with the same name. So I want you guys to continue to do that. So let me take a few more. Let's say. Okay, so we're talking about the mailing addresses. I see somebody asked about the boxes and the UPS address. Now, I have one of those. Those are that's my mailing address. But no, we're not going to use it, because let me tell you why. When they Google it, they're going to Google it if you put that as your address, and it's going to be at that place. It's going to have the location. That's where your office is. And when they look at it, they're going to say, oh, this is a mail place. This is a UPS store. It's not an actual physical building. So that's why I'm telling you that you need a virtual office, where if they Google it and they pinpoint it, it's going to be an actual building, or somewhere, where it's an actual location. So that's the reason why on that. So website people, somebody wants to know about that. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm not good with these what you call chats. Whenever I see the last one, that's the one I read. So I know a lot of you guys probably had already asked me a question and I didn't get to it. I'm just learning this stuff. I'm learning how to go through these messages. But one person asked, another question was, I'm sorry. Okay. Somebody asked, can we refer a good web person? And somebody in the comments says, yes, you can get freelance work on Fiverr. I recommend Fiverr. I've used Fiverr, and I also, for my social media, even though that they're not posting enough for me right now, and it's because I'm not giving them enough content. I got to be able to give them the content and help out on that side. But one of my friends, Belinda, she referred a female in the Philippines, which is very good, and I would recommend her to people if you want to use her. She's professional. She does good work. She's a mother, and she has kids, so she has little obligations, but she's good. She's very affordable, And and she does good work, and it would be a plus if we all could like use people like her, because it'll be a plus for us on the economical side. It's very, very reasonable. Any more questions real quick? I know we're 1 minute over, and I'm about time right now. I want us to do things in order, because that's how business should be ran. But I appreciate you guys for hanging in here with me and showing up. Come back tomorrow to get all of the funding places, sources, and things to know about the minority business, where we need to all be certified. So for those who are ready, who's anxious right now, I hate the word anxious, but ready to do what they need to do, go out and research what it takes to be a certified minority business owner if you're not already one. Because once you become one, they don't have to look for your bank account and all that stuff. They already know what your income and what your annual stuff is, because you have to turn in your paperwork for that. Let me see. I can't. Y'all know I can't go. If you have multiple businesses, you should have multiple websites. Yes. The reason why is because that's when it comes down. They're going to say, now, what are they doing? Are they, for me, is she doing taxes, or is she got some trucks? You see, because that's what it would be for me. So I have a website for coaching. I have one for staffing. I have one for, I don't have one. I put the staffing, the financial service stuff on my staffing, because that's what I'm staffing for, accountants and all of that. So I put my financial on one page on that. So yes, you must have multiple websites if you're doing multiple businesses. And the reason why is because I can help you get multiple funding for each one of your businesses. So if you have 5 businesses and you get all of them in order, you're eligible for 5 loans for each one of your businesses. So that's why. People, I'm so appreciative to you coming to my workshop. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope this information that I gave you was something that you can take and do something with right now. Take action. Be back tomorrow ready to find out how we're going to get this money and how to be certified, how to do all of the things we need to get this money. Because it's out there, we're going to get it. I'm not saying we might get it or that we're going to get it. If you do your due diligence, I will do my due diligence in making sure that we all get our fair share. So tomorrow, 6:30. Thank you guys. Y'all were on time today. Y'all were patient. Y'all were, oh my God. Thank you so much for being interactive with me. And tomorrow we're going to dive in. So be ready. Be ready. Come with your sleeves pulled up, with your notebooks, ready to roll. And come with your questions. Now, I'm going to put this out there real quick. If you have questions and you just can't wait till tomorrow, I love it. Send me an email. Send me an email to coachlife@coachmetolife.com. Let me spell it for you. Coach Life is COACHLIFE @coachme2life.com. Send me an email tonight with, if you got 100 questions, send me 100 questions. I love this stuff, y'all. And a lot of people said, Miss Denise, I don't like bothering you. When it comes to this, I like for you to bother me. I'm honest. I'm serious. I really love this. I can talk about funding and helping you, taking your business to the next level all day long. So don't feel bad about sending me tons and tons of questions. And if I don't answer them tonight or in the morning, rest assured that I'm going to have every answer tomorrow night when we start the day 2 of the workshop. All right, guys. Thank you once again. Sorry for being 5 minutes over, but I had to give y'all that information. Thank you for showing up, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.